hitting you in the face like similar to Jerry and now Oscar's Green Mist. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. This is the No Pyro podcast in the motherfucking building. How's everybody doing?
Did you hear the fade on the last horn, though? I pulled the phone away.
Yo, that is some revolutionary technology. Boys into triple digits now. We pulling shit out of our sleeves. You know what I mean? Get some trick and all of that. You know what I mean? See over there. The pull back 3,000. I feel you. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Total Mac, a.k.a. TBD Mac, a.k.a. Sick Flair, a.k.a. used to be known as Sicky Bella. I ain't been sick in a minute. I want to just ask everybody a question real quick. When's the last time you heard of somebody catching a cold since everybody's been in the house?
People try to catch them all the time, but, I'm not in that circle.
I mean, probably every cold is just assumed to be corona. So,
hey, it's always corona in my house when somebody gets sick. Hey, get away from me! Don't touch me! Don't look at me! Don't think about me.
Well, yeah, that's because you have the immune system of Magic Johnson.
Wow.
Ooh, we coming out fire today.
Drew, for the 100th episode, that's how you giving it up?
That's how we start the 100th episode. That's how we do it.
Let me just say this in response to your little line. To quote the current president, there's an AIDS vaccine. So thank you.
Oh, Obama said that? Because, I mean, I know 45 is not your president.
I didn't say it was my president. I said the president. Just saying.
Damn.
There's an vaccine, bro.
I had the little super soaker for this episode. I'm going to have to go back and get the XP1000 for y'all boys today.
To be fair, there might be an AIDS vaccine. They're just not giving it to us.
Well, yeah. Well, that's what Agent Orange said. He said it was a vaccine that was on the market. People are living.
Magic Johnson's had this shit for like 40 years, and I mean, he looks great. So, fuck, I believe it.
Well, hey, Drew, save your smart aleck remarks for when we're off the air, all right, bro? I don't want you trying to stun the kid. Anyway, this is another episode of the No Pyro podcast. I already gave you my introductories. Let me hit it to my man, Swervily, a.k.a. 2-Sub Swerve, a.k.a. Swervy Atmos, a.k.a. Swollen Pal, FKA 2020 or 2021 me, please.
What?
Fuck.
Anyways, for this season only, you got to add one more AKA, and that's always allergetic, never apologetic.
Come on, man, let's get it. 2020 or 2021 me, please, is a recent addition that you copped. I didn't know what year it was. That's why I said one of the two.
It was 20.
2020 me, please. You know what I mean?
I got 2021 money.
Then I ain't got it either if you ain't got it. How are you, sir? We missed you on the 99th episode, 99 Problems, but we got you here. How you feeling, man? How you holding up?
Well, it's funny you say 99 Problems because that's exactly what I had last week, right before the show.
Talk to the people, man. If you don't,
you know what? I'm gonna let you go ahead and introduce your last panel member, and then before we do that, we can get into it.
Okay. Well, be that as it may, I got to mention, if you didn't listen to the podcast last, you know what? I'm gonna save my comment. I just want to see what Drew has in store because last week was legendary. Anyway,
what?
Last but not least, of course, No Chill Drew, aka EGB, aka the Applebee's Don, aka.
Oh, hang on.
Oh shit!
Oh yeah.
Let's
You know,
get it.
Drew, it doesn't really hit the same when you got to say "hang on."
You know
Just
what?
saying.
I have one open, and I'm like, I'm not gonna do. I'm gonna wait till later in the show to. But I'm like, no, I gotta. So now I'm sitting with 2 open drinks, like a gluttonous fuck.
You're that
For
guy,
you
huh?
people, for everyone listening, for you folks out in the audience, I'm doing this for you.
For
All
This is
everybody
how I.
listening at home.
Last week, you know what, Drew? Last week's is good enough for 2 weeks because the last week can open was, oh man, amazing.
Yeah, I heard it, man. It was an HD. I want to congratulate you on that one. I don't know what you did
That was
that week, but you really need to focus on doing that every week.
Get
Drew,
Mountain Dew right in my fucking eye so that I can get it in the microphone.
we appreciate all your efforts, sir. They do not go unnoticed. Thank you, Drew. The whole gang is here. The conglomerate is here later in the episode, or maybe when we start it, you'll hear from Jeff and you'll hear from Avi.
Hear from them. I'll be reading their parts, but
Well, whatever. Didn't know this was fucking vagina monologues.
Whenever Drew's talking, we never know who we getting.
Exactly.
hey, it's not the vagina monologues. This is a dong script, okay?
Oh man. All right, so Swervy Lee, explain your absence to the people last week, man.
Well, the story starts a little bit before, we were set to go live. I was over in my office.
Before you continue, subscribe, like, and share. We are on YouTube. Like, subscribe, share, comment below. We're gonna drop a link below, and listen, like, and subscribe. Proceed.
That's right. Also on SoundCloud, as you know, because you're here. Uh,
And
but so yeah, I was working from home in my office, and I noticed that I was hearing some sounds. Something that sounds like a faucet was running. But I know that I didn't leave the faucet running, so I go into the bathroom, and it was sort of like a scene from Girl Out of the Third Floor with the water coming like right from the walls. I noticed that I was hearing the upstairs shower, which I haven't heard in all of my years of being here. So that let me know that someone had moved in not too long ago, as I'm also hearing, the hard walking across the top of the floor, across above me. So I'm seeing water come through the wall. I'm like, what the hell? I get on the phone with the maintenance guy. This is earlier in the day now, before the show starts, and I let him know what's going on, and they, for whatever reason, just property managers, maintenance folks, they never seem to have this urgency, and you got to kind of like light a fire under their ass to like get things going. So I'm like, yo, dude, water is literally pouring out the walls right now. Can you go upstairs and let this person know, like, that she's about to drown us all? Because he's just down there filling it with something. I don't know what it was. But he was like, she probably let the thing overflow. I'm like, okay, he's glad that you can determine what it is from here, but go upstairs and tell her to turn it off, because I shouldn't have to do it. So he goes upstairs. I guess she stops it, but the damage has already been done. So water stops coming out the walls for a little bit. And a little bit later on, I'm hearing some more water. So I go in there and I'm like, I'm seeing, I feel like I'm getting rained on. Now this time, the wall part that I was talking about earlier is within the shower. I'm not inside the shower this time when I'm walking in. I'm just walking in as if I was going in to brush my teeth. Feel like I'm getting rained on. I'm looking up, can't really quite tell where it's coming from, but then the water's trickling down to the center of the ceiling, and it's a little, I guess it's like a little tiny hole, whatever formed, and it's some water dripping in there. And then so I don't know how much water she let go, but after a while it starts to come down a bit heavier to where it's just, now it just looks like a faucet that's been built up there. So I get a bucket, try to keep that clean. I go back I called the emergency line. Excuse me. I had to call the emergency line because by then, after hours had already came, had already passed by. I had to have the emergency folk. I let them know that the water had was dripping, and it was coming down at a good rate. So I'm thinking that she's still got the water or whatever. But he was saying that it's going to leak. Earlier, I remember him saying it was going to leak, but he didn't say anything. That was going to happen between now and then. So after the water stopped, I actually get in to take a shower, and luckily for me, I was in and out. So once that's all done, I think it was about maybe 6:30, 6:45, whatever. And I think I was like finishing up some food or something like that. I'm getting out my laptop, getting ready to open that up, finishing up my food. I think right when you guys sent me the text, yo, we getting ready to go? Are we going on? I forgot what we said, but I'm like, yeah, I'm about to be ready. And then all of a sudden, I hear this loud bang, and I got a shower brush in my shower. That's like the only thing that could fall. And I said, well, my shower brush is not that heavy. It's not gonna make that kind of noise. Let me go see what it is. I go in there, and the whole damn ceiling is on inside the tub, thanks to the water damage. So I call them again. They come over, clean all of that up, at least the shower part, but they can't fix the other stuff till the next day, which is the part that whatever she damaged upstairs in her apartment. Now, mind you, she hasn't been there for about no more than like a week or so, and already all of this stuff started happening. So I'm guessing the plumbing system is kind of off or messed up, whatever, here in this side of the apartments, whatever, because whatever they did to her water, they did something with her kitchen sink. Whatever they did to repair her sink, I go and check my sink later on that day, the second day, and my sink is full with like murky water. And I'm like, what the hell? I didn't even turn the faucet on. I didn't use it at all today. So the water came from the drain and filled up from the drain. Thank God it didn't go over. So while they were in there working on the ceiling for the tub, I was like, yo, one of y'all got to come in and look at this because this is also messed up. And I don't know what the hell happened there. So they fixed that. And this is over a span of a couple of days. I'm just kind of getting the days mixed up, but it's over a span of a couple of days. The last thing happened was my bathroom sink was going down slow. And then all of a sudden, once they started messing with it, it didn't go down at all no more. So I think it was like Friday now. Now remember, we started the show on Tuesday. Now I'm on Friday. And the water didn't work. I had already called them the day before, like, yo, I can't, the water won't go down in the bathroom sink. I need you to, to get somebody over here. So they said, all right, we'll look into it, blah, blah, blah. Nobody came. Friday, I said, listen, I can't go into the weekend trying to brush my teeth in the shower. I need somebody to get over here so we can take a look at the sink because the bathroom water won't go down. I mean, the bathroom sink water won't go down. So finally somebody come down to fix that. And since it hasn't been any issues. Am I still missing the ceiling? Yeah, my bathroom is still topless right now. That's the next thing I'm working on to get that repaired. So that's where the story is.
So your bathroom ceiling got the titties out?
Yeah, man, I got the titties out, man.
So what the fuck was your upstairs neighbor doing? Were they just like, I'm gonna splash the fuck around like I'm a goddamn child, or like?
I have no idea. I think there's kids up there. I can't really tell. But either way, the water overflow. That's all I can get out of the maintenance guy because he doesn't have the greatest of English. So there's a barrier there. There's a separate story there.
Unlike your roof.
So, yeah, I'm guessing she let the water overflow or whatever. So I couldn't get the clearest of details. And the other guy who has good English, he just wasn't very talkative. So I couldn't, I didn't really get too much out of him. I was just trying to get to fix my stuff. I really could care less what was going on up there at that point. But I'm like, how can you let your water overflow? Or I don't know, was she high? Was she drunk? I mean, what was going on? But he told me that she was a little bit off over here. That can mean a lot of different things. So, but they just moved in. So I'm like, damn, you think, your first couple weeks, you already, messed up the whole plumbing system? I'm like, all right. So that's where we at now.
Damn. Yeah, that's crazy that they just kept letting the water come down and not realizing that it was going through the walls.
And to top it all off, she never once came down here to apologize.
Oh, well, that's not in their nature, bro. Hurt people, man.
Yeah.
All right, so after the upstairs neighbor literally told Swervy that it was raining and pissing on him at the same time, he's back with us today. Glad you in one piece, bro.
Yeah, dodged the bullet, man. I could have got the ceiling, could have fell on me.
You could have been letting one out, playing with your joystick, thinking I got a few minutes before the podcast. They have some fucking drywood just hit you in the head.
Well, playing Atari is in the shower is underrated. I don't know if I've ever even done it. But yeah. Now, in honor of Lil Wayne, I'm over here with no ceilings, you know what I'm saying? So
I also want to say before we continue, one of our guests has a birthday coming up. Drew, is that you?
No.
Your birthday's in August, right?
October.
My bad. It ain't me. So that means it's Swervy Lee. So shout out to Swerve for turning 24 years old. I mean, we see out there, big dog.
Don't be giving out false information like that, fam.
Hey, man, people ain't got to know.
Oh, man. People will sue you for anything these days.
Yeah, I mean, a listener might hit us up and be like, yo, man's 24, but he was talking about Shawn Michaels at HBK. 92.
Don't forget a lady sued McDonald's because the coffee was too hot.
Yeah, they will sue you for anything. That's a fact. All right, so we got a jam-packed episode. We will start this week's episode reviewing probably now my favorite three-lettered wrestling company, AEW. Yeah, Drew, I said it's my favorite because I don't fuck with the WWE. Fake-ass companies came out and said some shit about what's going on in the world right now. WWE ain't said nothing. You know who's been the most vocal? Randall Orton. That's who. Surprise.
That says something.
Right. So, Vince, Linda, Steph, Hunter, Shane, the kids, fuck all y'all.
Well, we'll start with AEW. First match that they had on Dynamite was the Butcher and the Blade taking on FTR. Once again, folks, I do apologize about the sniffling. My allergies are fucking killing me right now, too.
Yeah.
It's allergy season. It's fucking rough.
Wave.
But what we do have is this match. Let's see. So FTR did get the win, so they did win their first match on AEW, beating the Butcher and the Blade. After the match, Butcher and Blade kind of attacked him from behind. This led the Young Bucks to come out, and this also led the AEW Tag Champs, Kenny Omega and Adam Page, come out. So it was kind of like a stare down at the end. Good match, but it was what it was. It was a good match. It wasn't great. You know how it is. Next match, we have women's tag match where they can't get through one of these without a women wrestler getting fucking injured. So let's get through it. Chris Statlander and Hikaru Shida versus Penelope Ford and Nyla Rose. Ford ended up getting pinned, so we did have Chris Statlander and Hikaru Shida win. However, Chris Statlander blows out her ACL, so she is on the shelf.
Was Nia Jax over there?
Shit, she might be.
Yo, that's a huge loss to the women's division, yo.
They lost two of their top people. to knee injuries too.
So have
Big
they?
Swole, you next up.
Have they announced like any plans? Because that's going to derail the rankings and future storylines. Because this isn't like a 2-week, 2-month thing. This is like a year type of injury.
Well, the rankings are the storyline pretty much. So, yeah, if she goes down, the person right below her will probably come up. She would probably be probably back to Nyla Rose or something. She could probably come in, or Big Swell.
They're gonna have to give what's that girl's name who's like the Dana Brooke over there? Damn, can't think of her name. Something
Janet?
Cruz. It's Cruz, right? Something Cruz. They got to just boost her up.
I mean, you could go the WWE route and have meaningless squash matches back and forth between women who wouldn't have got a shot, like you said, at any given time if Statlander didn't get hurt.
Yeah, I mean, her and Brooke Baker. Brooke Baker was probably going to be, the next one up. She got hurt, so it's like, okay, let's see what Chris Statlander has. She gets hurt. It seems like anyone who teams with Hikaru Shida is going to get hurt. So good luck.
The Nia Jax of the West. That's what it sounded like.
You know what they got to do, man? They got to bring back Rio. That's what it is.
Jesus Christ! Please no.
We got to stop offering terrible suggestions for these companies because they're going to start doing it.
You know what the fans really want? They want Rio, who can't connect and doesn't speak a lick of English and looks like she's out of Sailor Moon. Let's do it.
Hey, listen, all I'm saying is things was going smoothly when she was there. That's all I'm saying.
Next match that we had up was a 6-man tag. Best Friends and Orange Cassidy taking on Santana, Ortiz, and Jake Hager.
Santana.
Fun match, but Orange Cassidy ended up getting the pin over Ortiz. Celebration didn't last long as Jericho came out and the 4 of them beat down Best Friends and Orange Cassidy.
Is that his first pin?
Who? Orange Cassidy?
Yeah, is that his first win, like getting the pin on somebody?
In AEW, it might be.
That is crazy.
I think he might have got like 1 or 2 other wins, but yeah, that's the first one on Dynamite I know.
Oh, on Dynamite. Okay, I meant like overall, like since he's been there.
A lot of times he's just doing like backstage skits, so I don't even know how many matches he's had. He may have only had a couple matches.
No.
So I wanted to ask before we move on, are they going to start treating him like a legit singles competitor?
I think that they're going to package him with Best Friends for now to protect him a little bit. So that they're not just giving everything away. I think that his singles stuff is going to be really reserved for the pay-per-views. Just because it is entertaining, but at the same time, if you do it every week, it's going to get hokey.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's like Brock Lesnar.
The opposite. It's they're throwing guys around. He's just not doing much.
We'll take it.
Next match we had was Sami Guevara against Colt Cabana. Guevara came out with his scooter that he had after he said he got injured during the match in the football field. Colt Cabana pushed it off the stage. They had a decent match. I know a lot of the indie fans love Colt Cabana. I was never huge on him, so it is what it is for me. I'm fine not seeing him there, but, Next match that we had was Cody defending his championship. I fucking, every time I see this fucking belt, it just hurts. But
It's just
Cody,
a few weeks since it debuted, right?
yeah.
Tony Schiavone promised that belt will look better in the weeks to come. Has it changed at all?
I think it looks worse. Is
Wait,
that
so there's been
changed?
some updates made to it?
No.
Oh, that's what I mean.
No, it's like a turd. It's just like, yeah, you're not touching it. But the longer it sits there, the worse it looks.
That was the final design then. They just lied to us. Okay.
No, I genuinely assume that there's just the gold platers are not open. Like they can't find people to gold plate it.
Turd. Turd is a word.
He was defending against Mark Queen of Private Party. You know, let's face it, we know who won this one. It's Cody. Main eventing again. Fucking
Drew,
again.
Well, Drew, do you see this doing what I'll just say John Cena tried to do for the U.S. Championship for these other guys that people may not know?
I mean, yeah, he's wrestling under guys, and that's great. It's helping boost. But at the end of the day, I feel like what this is in Cody's eyes, and Cody's main intention is, this is the me title. This is my belt. I'm main eventing, regardless of who I'm wrestling. I'm main eventing. It stinks of Cody's ego. I want to like the guy. I love the way that he wrestles, but there's sometimes it's just like, Cody, bring it back a little bit.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Why do you think, with all the booking power in the world that this guy has, why is he booking himself in this weird spot?
Because WWE never did it for him.
Say it again?
WWE never did it for him. So now that he could book, he's almost overcompensating on what he never got in WWE.
But
I'll tell you that flat out.
Into it saying, like, look what I can do. It's like, you would rather him, put over other guys and say, hey, Vince, you weren't an in-ring competitor, but now I'm stepping into your world and I'm showing you how to put other guys over, because you couldn't put me over and you still can't put anybody over.
But Mac, this is why wrestlers should never be bookers, because that temptation is always there. Yes, I could put other guys over, but I'm the booker. I could really make myself the top guy.
Well, gentlemen, the first thing anybody does when they get a large sum of money is they blow some.
Yeah.
And then they come around and they maybe donate some. You never donate first. It's just how it goes.
That's very true. So since Cody's in the spend it stage, fuck it, I got it stage, when is he going to reach the donate stage?
That's what the AEW Championship's all about. That's when he went, oh, I can never go for it again. But you're still main eventing. Like, you're making this belt the top belt.
Well, Drew, let me ask a question based around that. The top 5 popular wrestlers over in AEW right now, and you can say men or women, who are they in your eyes?
In my eyes, as far as like, okay, what's the parameters?
I don't care who has the championship, just the top 5 popular wrestlers in AEW.
When you say popular, do you mean like fan-wise?
Okay, somebody who draws people in, somebody who draws a crowd.
Do I have to go in order? Because I
you don't have to go in order. I just need to know who you think they are. And if you're telling me that Cody's not one of them, then okay, I can see your point.
Yeah, no, I would definitely put Cody in there.
Okay.
I would also put Orange Cassidy, because as crazy as it sounds, he does bring a lot of attention. I mean, every time he's on the show. And also, a milestone that we didn't touch on last week was his quarter-hour segment was the first time since the debut the AEW topped 1 million views.
That thing with Brandy?
That thing that Orange Cassidy did where he was involved with Jericho.
Oh.
Wow.
but I would put those two. I would put Jericho, just because of his name power.
Yeah.
I would put Moxley just because of his name power mainly. And if I had to pick a fifth person,
I mean, you don't even have to name anybody else. You put Cody in there, so that really just answers that really solves what I was looking for.
Okay.
I think that is why some of these things are happening. I think he knows it, and you know it too. So until that changes, I don't think that you can really shift that to someone else right now. They're still young, right?
They should be focusing on trying to get those guys who are not WWE guys over. That list I gave you, only one of those guys was not WWE guy. And instead of doing that,
go ahead.
Instead of doing that, he's main eventing with these guys. That's great, but you're still beating them every fucking night. That's not getting them over.
There will come a time, though, Drew, there could come a time, I'll say, when we look at Cody as an AEW guy and no longer a WWE guy. I'll just throw Kurt Angle's in this example. Of course, I look at him as a WWE guy, but the world probably who watches wrestling, all the other different companies, probably see him more as a TNA guy because that's where he spent most of his time. And they will be right.
That is true. I do like that point. You make a great point.
But, me being higher-headed the way I am, I say, no, he's a WWE guy.
The fuck's Impact?
You call Kurt a TNA guy?
Yeah. He's been there longer.
He actually spent more time in TNA than WWE.
Wow. Okay.
And I don't know if we count. I'm counting wrestling. I'm not talking about GM and all that other BS. And what he did behind the scenes. I'm talking about in the ring, because he could be coming up on tying that for all we know if he's still in WWE.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to. I don't know. I'm blinded by the WWE flag that Kurt didn't wrestle anywhere else.
And to me, he made his biggest impact, no pun intended, in WWE.
Right. And I look at the blemish.
At the other end, he actually helped TNA a lot more than he helped WWE. He helped TNA get on the map. I mean, they're probably still around because they had him.
And so, Drew, to bring it back to AEW, if Cody could do that, then you're going to have to call him an AEW guy at some point.
I mean, he helped make the company. So he is an AEW guy, but yeah, no, I see where you're coming from. I wish it wasn't him main eventing every week.
Well, these are just the Wednesday shows. I mean, it's not like, he's not chokeholding the belt like Triple H was in 2002.
So this poses a good question that I want to ask to the panel. Sound kind of smart saying that. When has Cody ever seemed like a WWE guy to you? Either of you? Because he hasn't to me.
Since he's been in AEW, you're asking, or just in ever?
You can include that, and I'll include ever.
Well, I think you only give that to certain people when they made an impact somewhere, and then they go somewhere else to make an impact. So, for my example, let me use Scott Hall.
Okay. When
they arrived in WCW, I was saying, damn, that's a WWE guy over there, because he was Razor Ramon. Everybody knew him as that. And then he became Scott Hall, whatever, as NWO. So I would say that's a even tiered kind of, impact, if you will, whatever. Now, if it was, who could I give you from that era that maybe went up that wall? Like if it was Val Venus or something like that and went to WCW, I wouldn't really say that he was a WWE guy. He just kind of land where he falls. You know what I'm saying?
What about like DDP?
DDP, I would still say DDP is a WCW guy, and I think that anybody would agree with that.
Oh yeah.
I got one. Booker T.
Ooh.
Booker T, I would say, is still a WCW guy, just off his tag team championships reign alone. And he did win the championship, the main event, championship over there. He did everything there's to do over there.
But
before he didn't make a big impact over here.
let me ask you this though: was his championships in WCW tainted by the fact that it was a time that Vince Russo was flopping the belt literally every 2 weeks, whereas in WWE it had a lot more sticking points, so it was a little bit harder for him to attain, but he still got it?
Well, you can say that. Then again, you can say that about a lot of people in WCW.
Yeah.
Jarrett Steiner. I mean, the list will go on. Even Goldberg, I think.
I mean, Jarrett and Steiner, probably neither of those guys will go down as actual world champions. I mean, they had the belt, but let's face it, they weren't top guys.
No.
I got one though.
I was gonna say real quick. I think you could argue Booker T as a WCW guy because in WWE, that's exactly who he was. Now he did, come up with King Booker and some other characters, quote unquote, based off of the regular Booker T. But without that WCW reign and run, I don't think we get what we have when he first came in and what we have now.
WWE only showed me one time that they knew what to do with Booker T, and that was when he fought The Rock at SummerSlam. That was it.
I thought you meant WrestleMania 19 with Triple H.
No. They didn't know what to do with him then. Because he
Drew knows what he's doing.
I do got one, though. I do got one. I'm going to conjure his name right now. Even though he's banned from our show. Hulk Hogan. Where do you place him? He got his
guy.
What's that?
He's a World Wrestling Federation guy.
Okay, because I mean, the NWO was fucking crazy.
Yeah, but Hulkamania is bigger than the NWO.
Is it?
I think so. You can say Hulkamania to people who are 30 years older than you, to somebody who's 10 years younger than you, and they're going to know what you're talking about.
I personally am on the fence with that because, yes, he's a WWEF guy, but NWO made him, watchable.
Well, yeah. To add on to that point, I will say the NWO, I think, perfectly said, here's how you put a face in a paper bag and you throw a bunch of garbage on them and you make them a heel and you take them out the bag. The most perfect face ever. This is how you make them a bad guy. And you can't hate it.
It extended his career. Let's just put it like that.
Yes.
Because he could not do that good guy or stuff for those last 10 or so years. He couldn't do it.
But hold on. But why didn't the NWO shit work in the WWE like that?
Because Vince had to have his fingers all over it. He didn't know how to actually build the NWO. He just took what Eric Bischoff did and says, well, I got to throw my production on it, which killed it.
Yeah.
I mean, Vince had gold a couple times, and he wasted it. The Invasion, everyone talks about that, and then the NWO.
Yeah, I mean, they try to go back to it here and there when Triple H and Sting had the match, and Monday Night Raw, the Monday Night War stuff. I mean, NWO was a cash cow. NWO is one of the most recognizable brands. You could put them up there with the Yankee symbol. You could put them up there with the Patriots logo, Boston Celtics, LA Lakers. Like the NWO as a brand itself to kind of circle things around, that is so huge. I mean, I wonder if that's what Cody's trying to do with himself. Because let's be real, NWO at one point in time was the judge, the jury, and the executioner in WCW. I don't know if Cody's trying to do that now with AEW with him and the guys that he wants to put over, like the Young Bucks and Sammy Guevara. I just don't know.
I think that they probably at least know that trying to do a large stable like that will kill the company, so the Dark Order is not going to get too big.
Yeah, they shouldn't.
If they're even still around.
But if they do, they're going to have just like nameless guys. Like they're just going to have like faceless guys who could throw in masks because that's what the whole group is supposed to be. It's supposed to be a cult for guys who feel like they're not winning to be a part of something bigger. That's why I do like what they are doing, where they're getting these bottom guys, these ham and eggers, and basically just throwing masks on them.
So it's Raven's flock all over again.
Yeah, and that way, Luke Harper could just fucking throw them at people.
Speaking of Raven, that's a fun one. How do you classify him? And we can get back to AEW when you're done.
I classify him as ECW, but
that is a good one. Cause he's been everywhere. He's like Tom O'Dead. He'll eat a little for you. Damn. I don't know. It's between ECW and WWE for me. I'm gonna say ECW. Only because that's where I remember, at least for me, that's in my mind. I'm like, he started in ECW. In my mind,
that's where he had his most success.
Yeah.
Did he though? Because I'm kind of on the fence with that between that and WCW.
I mean, he was world champion in ECW.
Yeah, I know. How much? What does the world champion, paycheck equate to a WCW United States Championship?
I mean man, that's not fair because that's like saying Scotty Duhati is fucking top of the world because he made 6-7 figures.
Well, Drew, what are we looking at here? The belt itself or the money they made as far as
his legacy? Are we looking at his legacy? That success? Because I mean, or what's most memorable? What's most memorable is his ECW title run, and that's his legacy.
Do you remember any of them?
I do. I remember it more than his commentating on Sunday Night Heat.
Well, I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about WWE. I've just left him out of it. I know he was there, but I'm only talking about WCW and ECW because I feel like he had a better thing going in WCW. That's just me.
I feel that WCW didn't know how to use them. They had no idea what to do with them
until he ran into Goldberg. Then I'll say then you can clip it right there. But
yeah, they didn't really know what to do with them because I mean, if you watch any of his stuff, I mean, it was basically just recycled WCW or ECW stuff during WCW. It was just, we have a flock, but it's not going to go anywhere. There's going to be no titles involved. There's going to be no main eventing. It's just you're stuck on the mid card, but here's a paycheck. Like, okay, that makes every single guy who walked into WCW guy because they got paid more there.
But if your name wasn't, Hulk or Rick, you weren't main eventing anyway over there. So, I mean,
we're just talking about paycheck.
We're talking about what?
If we're just talking about paycheck, then every guy was a WCW guy.
Well, no, I'm also saying, he had a little bit of an impact there too, along with the paycheck. Raven just had, his name, he got his name started in ECW, but I don't know if those checks were what they're supposed to be.
Hey, the checks were never what they were supposed to be.
The checks sometimes weren't checks.
Right.
Well, what you got next on the docket?
I'm done with AEW, so if you want to go on to SmackDown or Backlash.
Well, I do have the Backlash results if you guys want to go into that. Unless
well, SmackDown. I had to pull it up and I was looking at something else. Trying to keep up with the combo. trying to bring up some guys who would be good tweeners. So SmackDown results from June 12th of 2020.
I like how you had to assure yourself while you was reading them.
I gotta make sure it ain't November 18th of 2016. You know what I mean? I'm breaking down Umaga versus Prince Albert.
You've been triple checking ever since those couple of instances, huh, man?
Well, you called me out, man, so I had to come correct. You know what I mean?
So first match, CM Punk was there. What?
Taz took on Pete Gas.
The whole Mean Street Posse.
So just to kind of babble through this, Jeff Hardy and Sheamus signed the contract for Backlash. We'll get into that. It was a non-title match between New Day versus Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura.
Wait a minute. Did the contract part happen, or that was just like they're announcing it and you didn't talk about it yet?
No, it happened between Sheamus.
So you just gonna skip over that part?
Was it funny? I didn't watch it.
Well, I seen the highlight of that from the pay-per-view, and apparently
yeah. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, let's talk about that. I remember it now. Go ahead. Yeah,
so they're using Jeff Hardy's real life, story from outside of the ring to kind of inside the ring, like they've never done that before.
Now,
and Sheamus,
go ahead.
Sheamus was asking, Jeff Hardy wants a match with him, and they're going to have his contract signing. And Sheamus basically said, the only way I'll do it is if you take a piss test. So, Jeff Hardy thought about it, whatever, said, well, if this is what I got to do to get to you, then fine. So while they had this little barrier kind of like set up, and
now hold on. Drew, do you know about this?
I do.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
They had this little barrier set up. They put it around Jeff. He pretends to pee in a jar, and while they're doing that, Sheamus is going to the microphone. Remember, kids, users are losers. So, after they get done, Jeff Hardy appears with some pickle juice, and I forgot what words they exchanged after this part, but basically, Jeff Hardy said, it's better to be pissed off than pissed on, and then he threw the pickle juice in his face. I was like, yo, that's nasty. And I know some of it got on some of the other, innocent bystanders, but we ain't gonna talk about that.
So, ladies and gentlemen, when you hear us talk about how Roman Reigns does not have a disease, well, allegedly, or you'll ask us what levels would a WWE stoop to, and we bring up examples, add this one to the list, okay? This is disgusting. This is on primetime television on a nationwide network at a time slot where kids are up, kids are watching TV. The last thing you want to see on TV, I don't care if you're 6, 16, 26, 56, or 96, is two grown men in a ring watching one of them throw piss on the other. Come on now, Vince. Is real shit going on in the world? This is the shit you coming up with?
Well, let's not, forget. This may make it into the top 5 grossest things I've seen in WWE, but I still think nothing. Well, I won't say nothing. There's only one thing that beats the slop from the Godwins, and to me, it is still Tommy Dreamer gargling Undertaker's tobacco juice.
Oh,
never forget.
And he did that shit for real.
I went a long time forgetting about that, and as soon as you said it, I saw it happen.
Hey man, this is the 100th episode, okay?
Right, we taking you back. This is your life, WWE. I mean, I said this last week. Jeff Hardy, you're pathetic. I'm not gonna rehash the whole conversation, but you're pathetic, bro. For them to use this storyline and then for you to go along with it is pathetic. Jeff, if you knew better, you do better. That's all I gotta say about that. Moving on. What else was SmackDown? We had a championship celebration. Sasha and Bayley got their grand celebration for the tag team championships. I guess Bliss and Cross whooped them in the ring after they celebrated. Who cares?
I kind of like that they're holding all the gold. They're like a two-person stable.
Well, yeah, there's no mid-card to hold, unless, like Drew said, the SmackDown belt is the mid-card belt.
Pretty much.
They're like the Heartless Foundation.
Ooh. They might use that.
Braun Strowman and Heavy Machinery took on Dolph Ziggler, John Morrison, and The Miz. Heavy Machinery and Strowman got the Vic. And that was a go-home show. And then one match that wasn't a main event, and Swerve, you can allude to this one, was the tournament final for the Intercontinental Championship. Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles. Heard this one from you was match of the year candidate.
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't see it, but that's why I just heard good things about this match.
Okay.
They didn't amplify it to be the greatest wrestling match ever, but you know, I guess when what's understood don't need to be said.
Exactly. Because when you call something some shit and it ain't, I mean, you know, you got to hold these people responsible. But when they say it so much, you just like, yeah, whatever. That's what they do. And that's WWE. So, Drew, did you have anything else for SmackDown, bro?
I did not.
All right, yeah, me either. AJ Styles ended up winning that match, by the way. He is the new Intercontinental champion.
Bring some legitimacy back to the title, damn it.
So we went through SmackDown. We went through AEW. Let's go ahead and get some Backlash going.
All right. Before I go into the match, I do want to talk about this song they debuted with Miz and Morrison, because they did show it during the pre-show.
Yo.
And I'm not gonna lie to you, I like it.
I like it. I like the video. I didn't know what to expect, but I'm with it. They look like have fun doing it. I'm with it. I'm with it.
Yeah, they made basically a diss track to Braun Strowman, but they made it a popular song. That's how you win rap beefs for all you youngers out there listening. You can't just give them bars. You got to make it, so they can sing along.
Exactly.
First match was in the, I don't think it's a pre-show, matter of fact. But Apollo Crews fought Andrade with Angel Garza and Zelina Vega at the ringside. Kevin Owens came out to make sure that no shenanigans would happen. And surely enough, shenanigans did happen. And he stunned. Who did he give the stunner to? I guess it had to be Angel Garza. But anyway, that cost my boy Andrade the match, and Apollo Crews retained. I got to be honest, I didn't see him retaining the belt here. But it looks like there's trouble in the paradise of Zelina's Vegas.
Yeah, we'll get to that on Raw.
Next up, he had the triple threat tag team match between Sasha and Bayley, Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross, and the Iconics. Bayley and Sasha retained. I was almost 100% certain that they would retain. What I am shocked about is that for the first time ever, I believe, Alexa Bliss was the one to take the pin and not Nikki Cross. And I kind of knew since Billy and Peyton just came back that they would be protected. But I just thought it was going to be Nikki Cross that takes the pinfall because she always does. Anything to say on that?
So, what's the end game for these belts?
What's the what?
The end game. For the women's tag team championships. Like, how long will it stay on Banks and Bailey? Or, how long will it? How long should it?
Probably till SummerSlam. No, I'm sorry. It's June right now, so those belts will be off of them before SummerSlam, so that Sasha can fight Bailey at SummerSlam. If they don't pull the trigger, then they might as well just never do it.
Haven't we had this conversation like 8 different times?
I know, but they're building to it again, and they obviously want to do it. But I don't think they can afford to squander it this time.
This better be a WrestleMania-esque montage. I better see them two on the championship picture, and then Michael Cole better cut to the video, and that shit better be like 8 minutes long. Because we've been waiting for this forever.
Sasha usually gives people their best matches.
Well, yeah. This will be like one of the longer matches on the card if they do it. This will be your 25, 27-minute type match.
You're probably right, because Asuka will probably be hurt by then. And I'm not wishing that on her. I'm just saying, she's on Raw. It's dangerous over there.
Well, I have you know, when we go over the one match, she didn't get hurt in that one, so whatever.
Even a dog finds a steak in the trash.
Yeah.
Every once in a while.
They all say.
Anyways, next up, we have Sheamus versus Jeff Hardy. To my surprise, Sheamus defeated Jeff Hardy. This is actually not a bad match.
No, it wasn't. I like the finish. I think I called Sheamus to win because I don't give a fuck about Jeff Hardy. I used to, but I don't now. So my angst for him probably chose me to pick Sheamus. And on top of that, I want Sheamus to be involved in some type of championship picture. But in regard to this match, a lot of near falls. A lot of when I watch wrestling matches, I'm like, oh, it's over. And he kicks out. That will happen with the Celtic Cross from Sheamus and Jeff in the middle of the ring. That was dope. But Sheamus with that bro kick at the end just knocked him out real nice.
And a fun fact about this match, it was the second longest match on the card. I guess you guys know what the first one is.
Oh, yeah. The greatest wrestling match ever.
So next up, we had Asuka versus Nia Jax. That ended in a double countout. And, I just figured whenever I usually give a pass to the women's championships about not what I won't say give a pass, but I usually don't expect the women's championships to end in a countout or nothing like that because they're always usually in the middle of the card. And I would easily say that about the men's championship. If it was a double card, you could expect some shenanigans. But I actually didn't see a double countout coming. I mean, I kind of figured you got to protect Nia a little bit by not having her get beat as soon as she returned. And I know you couldn't let Asuka win, and you couldn't let Asuka lose a belt. So I guess this is their way out.
Yeah, I didn't see this coming either, but I mean, not for nothing. Whatever they do with this series, quote unquote, Nia's going to end up coming up on the short end of the stick. So, whatever. Just stop putting my girl in matches that don't mean shit.
Then tell your girl to stop injuring people.
The championship don't mean nothing?
Dog, you know good and damn well that she wasn't winning that match.
And you know goddamn well that she killed the dinosaurs.
Drew, you've been silent for the past 4 matches. Now you got some shit to say.
Yeah.
I girl on AEW now, did I? I'll let you ride today.
Hey, that's fine. That's fine. But at the same time, you got to admit, Nia Jax is about as clumsy as a wet floor.
Hey, I'm good with Nia knocking these hoes up. We need to restore some balance in the women's division. We need a bully.
Wow.
Wow.
All kinds of things wrong with that statement. Next up, we have the
What you want me to say?
WWE.
A man doing it? Damn.
Next up, we have the WWE Universal Championship. It was a 2-on-1 handicap match. It was the hey, ho, ho, ho. Miz and John Morrison versus Braun Strowman.
Yeah, I mean, once I saw that they did the video before Braun came out, I said, fuck. No way they're winning this match.
Can I throw another fun fact out there?
What's that?
Even though Braun had 2 opponents, this was the shortest match on the card.
Yeah. Now, let's talk about something that happened in this match that I was surprised to see. You watched the whole match?
Yes, I did.
So, when Morrison was pitting Strowman, what do you give as far as a feud happening to the way Miz reacted to the pin?
When he pulled his leg off him?
Right.
I mean, I don't think it's a feud anyone really cares about.
Yeah, but you can't be happy for your boy. Me and you take, we in a 2-on-1 against No Chill, and No Chill's the champ, and you pin him, and I take your leg off to say no. I can't be happy for you.
I mean, that's a bigger issue. So deep down inside, is anybody really happy for you? Other things.
I mean, I'm just saying, no one's gonna care about Miz versus Morrison, but for the fact that Miz is pulling heel tactics against his heel partner says a lot.
I don't even know if I would go that far as to say it was heel tactics against his heel partner. I think it's just them two being clumsy. I mean, if it was Morrison Miz to get the pin, Morrison would have done that spot. You could have just interchanged those two. It really wouldn't have mattered. I don't see a breakup at least coming for right now, and if it do, it's not going to be some huge payoff.
Yeah. Do you think it's over with Strowman and these two?
Possibly. I mean, this was Miz was in a championship spot. Well, I would say like a sort of main event spot like this with R-Truth before. I mean, that's all this was. You just replaced him with someone else.
All right. Well, I'm ready for Miz to be champion again.
You are.
I don't think he's going to beat Strowman though. But whatever.
Yeah, it only took one power slam to take out Morrison, so I wouldn't look for that if I were you.
Yeah. Well, I'm not, so I know what reality looks like, and that ain't it. Sad to say.
Well, next up, we had the WWE Championship. Drew McIntyre.
I just you continue, Trevor. I'm ready to fucking move, okay? I've got these idiot neighbors in the back yelling their ass off. I don't know if you can hear it, but if you can, please let me explain. I don't know what either of them are saying, because I'm paying attention to what we got going on, obviously. But I just hear yeah for the past 25 minutes. I cannot do this anymore.
I don't hear anything.
No, there's a woman yelling now. Let's see if you can pick it up. She was just saying, keep them out of your house. Someone named Monica. Okay, I'm sorry. Continue, Swerve.
Yeah, there's like 2 girls at my bus stop that I'm looking at. They both look kind of good from here. I need that 100x zoom. But anyway, Drew McIntyre.
Something's wrong with that statement.
Drew McIntyre defeated Bobby Lashley due to Lana coming out when she was not supposed to. She was told to stay back, and she did not. And she came back and got on the apron like they do. And Bobby Lashley stopped to avoid hitting her and turned around into a Claymore. Just one. And that was it.
To quote the great Dr. Dre, if your B get in my S, then it's your B you check. And Lana was the B that you to get checked by Bobby Lashley.
MVP was trying to check him, but
Yeah, I mean,
they be putting him in these weird Lashley in these weird spots, man. I don't get it.
Season finale of Insecure on HBO came on, so I'm like, yo, 10 o'clock, we getting it on. Me and Bay watching it, but the news came out and said, okay, 10:20 is gonna start. So we watching the pay-per-view before that, and I'm like, what's going on with this MVP segment where he's on the phone? So then I flip back and forth, and then I get back on the screen and I see Lana. And when I see Lana, Bay goes, what's going on with her hair? It looks mad weird. And Lana looks extremely tan. She looks worse than I've ever seen her in my life. Bobby's doing a number on her, and we got to break this relationship up quick, fast. Another thing that somebody brought up was in the Backlash package, Rusev was there. And I have no idea.
Package.
Yes. In the Backlash package, he was there.
Well, they still have that likeness, so I mean, why not use it? I mean, you have it.
Yeah, but what the hell is the point of it, though?
For WWE to get that flex?
I guess. I mean, that's just like when Cody first bolted for AEW. That's like WWE featuring Cody on one of their programs for Raw or SmackDown. That doesn't make sense to me.
Well, hey, man, if we're going to be fair, club promoters put fine women on a flyer who ain't going to be there all the time.
Hey, man, I'll see Martin Luther King Jr. on the club. And that was disgusting. So, yeah, you're right. Oh, here we go.
Now I hear it. Not my husband.
This is I gotta go.
No, bitch. No, that is my husband right there.
Would it not be the 100th episode to have some outside riffraff just come in and make its way onto our airwaves?
Oh, you gotta.
Not until you get that. You need that car alarm going off. So solidify it.
Oh, I can make that happen if you want.
Or the ice cream truck or whatever else we'd have had out there.
Now, there's a lady asking, what the fuck is going on?
I'm telling you, if I was in a different position in this apartment building, you guys would hear a lot more.
Nice. Okay. I'm glad you're not.
No, it ain't nice. You don't want to hear it. I'm just saying. Anyways, you ready to close out the Backlash with this last match here?
Yeah, let's do it.
The best for last.
Hopefully everybody's seen this. This was the greatest wrestling match ever. Randy Orton versus Edge. Randy Orton defeated Edge with an illegal move. They seem to be restoring the Legend Killer. Killing yet another legend in the middle of the squared circle. So, my question to you guys is how or what was your thoughts on this match if you had to give it a star rating? And be fair.
5 is the most?
Yeah.
Can I include a decimal point?
Sure.
3.7.
Drew,
I'd
you?
give it 3.5.
I'd say it was an even 4.
Go ahead. My bad.
The thing that you guys may or may not believe is this match went longer than their WrestleMania match, but it didn't feel like it to me anyway. Um, I would say if they would have not started using everybody's finisher and acting like Shang Tsung out there, it probably could have been a bit higher. But once I started seeing that, I was like, all right, this is just some sort of tribute to everyone else. But it was still a good match, a very good match, although it wasn't the greatest ever. And I think that's what is pretty much echoed on around the internet. So those are my thoughts on it.
You know what though? It was a good. If we're getting just 3 matches, it was a good number 2.
Well, obviously the best of the series so far, right?
Well, I mean, not gonna lie. I mean, how much more do you need to come up from 1? But we actually got a real finish this time in a ring with the referee, with my boy David Flair.
So
wearing the bow tie,
right?
Knowing what you guys know, and I'm kind of talking ahead without actually saying it. What do you think this last match type will be between these two?
You know what? Let's get a match type that we haven't seen in a long time.
Stretcher?
Go ahead.
Stretcher match?
No. One of those match types that if 2K was producing a video game, they will put it in the game just because we had it in this match.
But they wouldn't put it in the game until the following season when those wrestlers aren't even there anymore. That's how they operate.
Touche. Let's get a 3 stages of match.
I could actually see that happening.
This is the only way you close out Edge and Orton. And you know what? I need to apologize to more so Swerve than Drew, but Drew, I'll bunch you in there too. Randy Orton is invested as a motherfucker in this feud. He is invested.
I told you when he cares, you can get some stuff out of him.
And the payoff is looking good.
When he gives a damn, you'll know it. And I co-sign that match type.
You did.
3 stages of hell is where you go. Now, another question, is Edge capable? Because, we haven't gotten to Raw, but, And you guys may have some
heard about that. There was a rumor that he tore his triceps.
Yeah, it's not a rumor. It went down.
Oh. I don't know where that leaves things at.
So, SummerSlam doesn't look all that great, but whenever they do return, that's where they should go.
They're probably going to be, I wouldn't say Royal Rumble, maybe next year's WrestleMania with a torn fucking tricep.
Yeah.
After this, though, Edge has to lay it down. Just go out the way you planned. I'm still in agreement that he never wanted to go past 1 match, but they had to do that BS because of what happened. You guys have any thoughts on the Howard Finkel introduction and fake crowd noise?
More.
I wasn't a big fan of it. I thought that it just seemed a little bit hokey, but that's just me.
It didn't make you feel like it was happening in Toronto or Chicago, even though the fans inside the plexiglass weren't really going along with it.
Yeah, I was literally trying to watch the mouths of the fans. I'm like, he's saying this is awesome, but he's not saying this is awesome at all. I mean, it's whatever. It made it feel like more traditional wrestling match that we were accustomed to for several years. Was it perfect? No, but it was better than what we were getting for the past month or so.
I mean, thank God Howard Finkel had called their matches before, or else we wouldn't have had that recorded.
Yeah, I mean, hey, what are you gonna do?
Well, that caps off Backlash. That match had a
Overall,
Go ahead.
overall,
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I missed one thing. I missed one thing that happened before Backlash. It's actually not on here for some reason, but I'll say it's not on here for good reason because it actually wasn't a match. But there was the Street Profits versus the Viking Raiders, and that was just a cinematic uh, mess. They never actually got in the ring to fight. They went all over the back, and they ran into Akira Tozawa, and he had some ninjas on the bikes, and there was some tall dude. I don't know who the guy is, but I'm sure people on the internet know. He pulled out a sword. They all ran from him. One of the Viking Raiders was summoning a turkey leg like Thor, and they fell into like a trash can. There was some kind of snake or alligator that they only showed the tail, and they all ran from it. It was just a big mess, but nothing really. It didn't add to the show. I'll just say that.
They're trying to get really cute with all this cinematic shit.
yeah, you notice that ever since AJ Styles and Taker, it's like, all right, we're gonna use it and abuse it.
I mean, when your back's against the wall, you do that, but you didn't have to do that with it. They could have just had a regular match if you're going to have it. How you guys feel? There was some more talk before we go on. There was some more talk about the Randy Orton and Edge match being edited. How do you guys feel about that? Because it was taped.
Oh, I believe that they probably got a few different takes, and that's probably why he blew out his tricep, is because they got 7 or 8 different takes of certain moves that probably caused something to tear.
Yeah. But do you think it took away from the match at all, or
No,
they edited great, so who cares?
no. I mean, they used to do that for SmackDown all the time. So,
Um,
But do it make you feel like Edge really didn't go 40 minutes straight? You know what I'm saying? Like, does it? You know,
he probably went longer.
does it put an asterisk on certain things? Yeah, but not nonstop.
I mean, I agree. I agree, Drew. That yeah, they probably fucked around and taped 3 or 4 takes of this match in a couple spots, and one of those takes he ended up fucking up and hurt himself. This is why I'm against doing stuff like this now. You've got fans in the fucking arena now. Let's cut that shit out.
Well, yeah, that closes out Backlash, guys.
Okay. What's next?
Dirt.
All right, let me pull it up.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Oh shit, Speedy fucking Gonzalez over there.
So you mentioned one of my pieces of dirt already, and that's Edge tore his tricep. So I'm just going to cross that one off right now. But did you want me to start?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So WWE let some fans in to watch the pay-per-view as well, not just wrestlers, but fans as well. A couple of them. And guess what happened?
Breakout.
At least one of the performance center workers that was in the crowd is tested positive for COVID. So they canceled their tapings for today. They are hoping to resume in the next couple days once they make sure that nobody else has it. But yeah, that happens. They are still prohibiting face masks though. WWE. In fact, Kevin Dunn, producer of WWE, and a man who is very rich by basically ruining a lot of careers and not really knowing what the fuck he's talking about, said, and it was corroborated by a few different people, that he pulled a Joe Biden and says, if you wear a mask to our shows, you're not a real wrestling fan.
I'd like to see him try that in Saudi Arabia.
Speaking of Saudi Arabia, there's currently a lawsuit going on between WWE and Saudi Arabia about what's going on last year with the money that's owed. Well, a former WWE wrestler testified stating that the story that came out about Saudi Arabia basically holding the wrestlers hostage is true. He stated in his testimony, and this wrestler has remained anonymous, that
it was Mansoor.
Well, he said it was a former WWE wrestler.
They fired him.
So Luke Harper stated in his testimony that they got on the plane wasn't taken off, and he had asked one of the flight attendants what's going on, and she said, I don't think the government wants us to leave. At that point, several wrestlers said that they saw men in black clothes with black masks armed surrounding the plane.
Antifa?
No, these guys actually had weapons.
Oh.
They weren't just using their daddy's trust funds. So they were forced off the plane and basically, not held hostage to a point where it felt like a hostage, but definitely like you're not leaving this country. Like they basically took their passports, made sure you cannot leave this country. So yeah, there's that. Did you have anything, or you want me to continue?
I have nothing, bro. This is all you.
Okay. So WWE is said to have wanted a Nexus reunion at last year's WrestleMania. You obviously remember the Nexus, right? Or am I just like talking shit here?
If you don't know
that group that's John Cena buried.
Yep, John Cena buried the shit out of him. They were planning on bringing the Nexus back. However, the key ingredient was Wade Barrett, who refused to show back up to WWE TV, refused to do anything with WWE. So because of that, the plans got scrapped.
Where the hell is he, by the way?
Last time I saw him, he was in MLW.
Damn.
I wish he came back.
Yeah, I mean, he's not going to be coming back to WWE. He fucking hated the end of his stay there. He was never treated well, especially for a guy with his talent. He's not coming back.
We need to go to AEW then.
Well, he's been doing more like a commissioner role than anything. So he hasn't even been wrestling. He's been doing like commissioner roles.
I need to see the Wasteland one more time.
Vince McMahon is said to be high on a certain wrestler. Angel Garza. Several people have said that Vince McMahon considers Angel Garza as the, quote, next Eddie Guerrero.
No way. I've already gave Andrade that coin. Get out of here, Vince.
Vince, you listening, right? Come on, bro. Stop it.
Did you hear the changes that happened with Monday Night Raw backstage?
Oh, yeah, I did.
Somebody does not have any authority anymore.
Let's be honest. He never really did.
So, remember when it was announced that Eric Bischoff was taking over SmackDown and Paul Heyman was taking over Raw? We're so excited. We're like, okay, here we go. Here we fucking go. And Eric Bischoff really never showed up to work before he got fired. And now Paul Heyman is gone. Replaced by Vince McMahon's right-hand man and obligatory yes man, Bruce Pritchard, who is running both shows now.
It's like when they kick out Bucket Game and GU and then put out another Yayo album.
Yeah. And lastly, did you hear who is starting their training to be a pro wrestler? Whose wrestler's child is actually training to be a wrestler?
Oh, he about to debut.
No, not this person. This person's actually far away from debuting.
We not talking about custody?
We're not talking about custody.
Ah.
Sky Hall?
No. We're talking about like years out. Like this person's just like getting their toes wet.
Steve Bogner? The son of Rick Bogner?
Oh. We don't bring that name up here.
The son of Hawk or Animal?
So you keep on saying the son of. This is a daughter.
Okay. My bad.
I don't know.
This is would be a 5th generation wrestler.
So it's from the Maya V coin.
Well, we already know that she's in the Performance Center, Dwayne Johnson's daughter. So that's not who I'm talking about.
Oh.
Heart Foundation?
I am talking about a young lady by the name of Aurora Levette, who is Triple H and Steph McMahon's eldest daughter.
What?
She is.
Well, Charlotte, get all the time you can get.
When I say she's just getting her toes wet, she's like 13. So she's like bouncing around the Performance Center, but she's not like enrolled in any classes. But from all accounts, it seems like as soon as she can, she's interested in doing it.
All right, Charlotte, you got about 7 years to get all them records, because by the time this little girl come up, it's a wrap for you, fam.
I don't know if that actually qualifies as dirt. I mean, that's like saying,
Listen, pal.
Steph ate a hamburger yesterday.
It's COVID. We're working with what we got, pal. Okay.
Whatever you can grab off the top shelf, give it to me.
Now, you know that this girl's going to be able to fucking shit in as many gym bags as she wants and is never going to get fired. She can Teddy Hart her way through that fucking locker room. No repercussions.
She's going to be handed the gold. She's going to bury superstars. I could just see it coming now.
She's going to debut with a custom belt.
Yeah. And Ric Flair will be her manager somehow.
Well, it's either that or he's getting pummeled in the fucking ring.
When are we getting another Evolution pay-per-view?
We don't need one. But hey, we're getting the Evolution finisher, so we might as well go ahead and get everything Evolution. We got Ric Flair on Monday. Triple H's daughter's coming. Get the pay-per-view started.
Speaking of Evolution, did you see the walking graffiti art's new tattoo? That being Dave Bautista?
I did not.
He got an I Can't Breathe tattoo.
Wow.
You got it tatted on him?
You got it tatted on him.
That's commitment.
So, your move, companies who put up black squares. Dave Bautista's getting it tatted on him. What are you going to do?
They might take Batista out the Hall of Fame for that.
Oof.
We don't associate with him. Scrub his name from one of his 3 books.
God damn it! Why can't you present yourself like real legends, like Hulk Hogan? God damn it!
Right.
He was on Baywatch, for crying out loud.
I'll be there. I'll be there.
Incredible.
We need that as a regular part of the show, by the way. We need that as a regular part of the show now.
See what you done, Swerve?
Huh?
Lifetime requirement, sir. You set yourself up for it. Hope you're happy.
That could be the new intro to our show.
What we also need is for you listeners to like and subscribe on all the platforms: YouTube, SoundCloud, and iTunes.
But if you don't have iTunes, that's fine. We haven't checked that shit in a while. We don't know how. We are that much of jabrones. We have no fucking clue how to check who has subscribed on iTunes.
iTunes will tell us.
Right, exactly.
iTunes is not in those streets, so we don't associate with it. That's all I had. Did you want to go to Raw?
Yeah, we can go to Raw. Why not?
Damn, I'd be forgetting about Raw.
You ain't the only one.
I was thinking it was the end. We still have questions too, gentlemen. Don't forget. Remember when you heard it first?
I was on my mixtape game heavy this weekend too. Going through old CDs.
You know I trashed all of my CD cases and movie cases, right? I got binders for them, or whatever you call them things, storages.
Yeah, I got those too. The zipper with the CD sleeves in them.
Yeah. It's kind of vintage, but I'm like, I don't want all these cases anymore. I'm done with them.
Now, does the V, does it have a CD input or no?
You talking about the PS5?
No. The whip.
Oh, nah, those been dead since 2015, maybe.
Yeah.
I wish. The first time I got in the old joint, I was like, so where the CD player at? She's like, yeah, we're not doing it anymore. You got a phone, right? Like, well, like, what if I didn't have it?
she don't know what to pop them CDs in back in the day. She don't get it.
I'm like, damn, I don't have to buy a CD changer and put it in the back of in the trunk like old school.
Might have to. So starting off Raw, was Randy Orton talking about what he said he would do, exactly what he did at Backlash, and he beat him. He did confirm the torn triceps, so a little bit of Venn diagram-ish tactics here, if you will, with confirming some dirt sheets on the actual flagship program. He's still talking shit about him, so this isn't done. And another indication, which, by the way, WWE, you've been sticking to this branding for years, with Edge and Christian as brothers, all of a sudden they're friends. Which one is it?
I'll tell you what he is. He's the Genetti of that tag team.
Oh, well, according to Bleacher Report, this is why you got to fact check some of these motherfuckers. Bleacher Report says, oh, never mind. I'm okay. I'm tripping because it doesn't seem like it. But Randy Orton is a 13-time champion. I thought they were talking about Christian. I'm like, are you talking like European, Intercontinental, and tag team all rolled in one? That's what I thought they were talking about for a second.
Oh no, they wouldn't be making that mistake, I don't think.
Okay, all right. I just had to make sure. So Christian came out. So sorry, Bleacher Report. I flubbed that one. But Christian came out and Orton taunted him, saying that he was inferior and he was jealous of Randy Orton. So now we get not only Beth Phoenix, but now we get Christian involved in this whole Edge and Orton saga. How they're booking this, not going to end well for Randy Orton. But he is invested, and that's all we can ask for. Moving on, Kevin Owens versus Angel Garza. Um, Garza and Andrade, the breakup, reached its height. Of course, it's over at Joint. Selena Vega.
Yo, fam, you gotta update your your vocabulary.
Joint. I can't. I can't call him female. I don't want to say woman, but a joint.
It was over a Dame. All right.
I mean, I ain't 60 years old, but if you want to go there, let's do it. A Dame Dollar. Swerve, these are your boys, man. What do you make of this?
Hey, look, I only claim one of them, man. If based off the news you told me a few segments ago, I'm guessing Angel Garza is the next up, and they're gonna fight each other 100 times.
I thought Andrade had the juice because he was fucking with Charlotte.
I mean, he might not be messing with it no more. I don't know.
That or her stock's not as high.
I'm just saying
on all shows.
We do for some Swervy tea, so you need to get on that.
Yeah, I'll find out.
We haven't heard no Swervy tea in a minute.
Did we have any in 2020?
I don't know, man. That's a good ass question.
I mean, we ain't really had many shows in 2020.
Right? We had maybe like 9 shows together, maybe. So Bobby Lashley and MVP were out talking about the loss to Drew McIntyre. MVP said, "Yo, we gonna blame Lana, a joint," and Lashley said, "You know what, Doug? You're right. We gonna blame her." Lana came to the ring, said her on-screen husband was stupid for banning her from ringside. And then MVP and Lana argued about who was to blame. Lashley finally spoke up and said he wanted a divorce. Then left with his new boo, MVP.
Yo, hold up. I ain't gonna let you do that. Like, wait a minute. Now, the problem I got with this whole thing is, in storyline, MVP just came along. Now, I understand the whole bros before hoes thing, but you just met this bro. What are you doing? You fire her, divorce her, whatever, but you don't choose MVP.
Yeah, I don't know what MVP brings to the table, man. I don't know. I mean, is he like the pseudo GM for Raw that no one is talking about? But I don't know if he's saying like, "Yo, you leave her for me, I get you another shot with Drew." I don't know. There's analysis on Bleacher Report. It says Byron Saxton said he didn't see this one coming. But is he the only person on earth who didn't predict this? This storyline with Lana and Lashley has gone on way too long, but it looks like we won't have to deal with it much longer. MVP has been killing it on the mic, and this segment continued that trend. Lana was good here too, and this went exactly as it should have. So does this set up a new challenger then for Drew McIntyre?
In who?
Well, Lashley's not it. I'm assuming SummerSlam build starting here.
Yeah, but for who though? Who are you having in mind?
Seth.
No, Seth's gonna have some problems with it. He's gonna have some family issues during SummerSlam.
And why you say that?
We'll just put it there.
Okay.
I think you'll get to it. You're reading the Raw line. You'll get to it.
All right. We'll skip this. Viking Raiders and Street Profits took on oh, this shit whipping my ass. Akira Tozawa. We won't skip it. His ninja, which is a code word for another word, because I mean, come on now. Titus O'Neil, ninja. Come on now. I see what y'all doing. Y'all think y'all slick. Calling that man a ninja. This is the equivalent of Swervy's neighbor telling him that it's raining, but then fucking Foster keep running and the walls come tumbling down.
By the way,
ninjas.
Right. Pretty much.
Just try to tell me that Akira Tozawa being a ninja is not WWE's way of going, oh, you think we can't be racist anymore? Oh, we could be racist still.
Right. In a party city gi with 4 other goons with him. Come on, bro. Then I have to hear Big Show's fucking music again. Which, bro, if you're here to promote the show you got on Netflix, get in and get out. Have a backstage segment. I don't
Wait. Does he have another season coming up? Because I want to see that.
You're the only one, bro. I watched 1 episode and I was finished. I said I'm interested to see who guest stars on the show, but I said I don't want to see this. So
you missing out some good content, man.
Emma
Instead of worrying about who banging who on Insecure that you keep promoting.
Hey man, you see it out there. You know the vibes. You know what's going on. So speaking of children or chilling, Dominic Mysterio.
Custody of Dominic. Get it right.
Custody of Dominic. Full circle shit right here going on, Drew. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
This is the family shit that Swervy was talking about. So I don't know if this motherfucker's been traded or not, but it's looking like we gonna get a match with this dude.
Whether he's ready or not, right?
I mean, if the casinos is open right now, I'm running to the casinos and I'm betting on the over for however many stare downs that Seth is gonna have to this dude on the mat. You know that camera, how it looks up as Seth just giving a disgusted face to a lifeless, limbless Dominic Mysterio. We're gonna get a bunch of those in this feud because there's no reason why Dominic should be in this match. And I'll say another thing: if Seth Rollins is put in a situation or a position that he shouldn't be put in at all against Dominic, then Bruce Pritchard has failed us as the guy who's taken over Raw, because there should be no way that this super novice should be getting over on Seth Rollins at all.
Dominic is here to dominate. That's all I'm going to say about that. He's going to
will his
debut
first
this
match be against Austin Theory or will it be against Seth?
If they get a pin?
No, I'm saying, well, Dominic's first official match, will it be?
Oh no, he's going to tag with his dad, but you know, that's what this plan is going to come out to.
What if? And hear me out here. What if they're calling Angel Garza the next Eddie Guerrero, so that we can get custody on a pole part 2?
Oh my God!
Now you're thinking like a McMahon.
Unless Vince Russo's hired back, I don't see that happening. Do you, Drew?
I mean, it is Vince McMahon. I mean, he's probably saying in Saudi Arabia going, wow, they asked for Yokozuna. We brought some random guy in. It worked. What if we get some random Mexican? We could play him off as Eddie Guerrero. This could happen.
Sad.
I still don't know how that happened. Were they like looking at old WWE trading cards and said, I want that one? Or like, what was going on?
No, what it is that the Prince watched WWE as a kid. And obviously these are wrestlers that he grew up with. So when he's inviting WWE and he has all the money in the world, he's like, these are the wrestlers I watched as a kid. These are the ones I want there. And it's
so
like,
he thought that they would still be, you know, alive, good shape, good health, even though they were 46 when he saw them.
I mean, yeah. I mean, he's a Saudi prince. This is the type of guy who says, I want a lion and gets a lion. Do you honestly think that Yokozuna is not a big get for him?
Hey, I know his buddy Long, but it ain't bring back from the dead Long, man.
I mean,
Just ain't.
You never know.
Well, I know one thing.
If you can make people disappear, you can make them reappear.
Why did they just play WrestleMania 9 for him on a big screen?
Because he wants it live. He's not paying for WrestleMania 9. Now he knows a hustle.
Uh,
Well, I think we're getting a. I don't want to say this. I think we're gonna get a star out of Dominic. I was about to say superstar, but he's been around the business. He knows the guys in the back. He's
so
being put in the position with the top guy in the company on Raw.
I'm glad you said that though. What is the tiers? So based on what you just said, I'm assuming a star is just somebody who wrestles on TV, and
Yeah.
a
So
superstar is.
a star would be. I would put Drew McIntyre as a star. I wouldn't put him as a superstar.
Not yet, or
Not yet.
because you can't gauge it because there's no fans.
No, not yet. He's got to have some real title defenses. I will put Bray as a superstar. I would put Seth as a superstar. AJ as a superstar. I mean, when
Okay.
you break it down, when you talk about the top 5 talents that are currently in the WWE, man, it's scarce.
But is there a tier higher than superstar to you, or no? Or are you telling me superstar is the top?
For current, no, there isn't. Because
Okay,
then
you're
you
only
talk
doing
about
right.
longevity in career, and then you'd be like, all right, Rey Mysterio is fucking Hall of Fame. Like, whatever. We're not counting him because in today's landscape, he doesn't mean shit.
Well,
He's a bystander.
so when we talk about superstars, right? Or let's just talk about superstars and legends. I think based on how they debut you when you come back from return, lets you know where you are. And I don't think you've gotten to that yet on the card, but that's how I feel about superstars, stars, and legends.
Okay. Where do you put Orton?
Has he ever left?
Oh, he did like what, Commando or some shit like that.
Where do you put
Orton,
Dolph Ziggler
Orton
at?
is superstar.
Where do you
Orton's a superstar until he's like in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Where do you
He's a
put Ziggler?
star.
Yeah.
One last one before we move on. Where do you put Kevin Owens?
Star.
I'd say star for now.
Star for now, meaning he could transcend or descend.
He could transcend.
None of my answers are clipping their potential. I'm just saying how I see them right now.
I mean, I just don't know why the WWE won't put the rocket to this guy's back.
Because he won't get on the Jinder Mahal diet. That's why.
Yeah, I don't know.
Come on, man. You know the formula.
And you know what though? I will say this: if he wasn't so injury prone, if Kevin Owens was not injury prone, he'd probably be a superstar by now. He'd probably be a multi-time champ because Vince likes him. He's
Yeah,
constantly in those spots where Vince puts the guys he likes. The problem is that he always gets hurt, and then Vince pulls back.
that's the only thing holding it back for me is the injuries. Like, I think he's maybe peaked, to be honest, because I don't know what they could give him to make him better than what he was. And it's not like he peaked where he was main event WrestleMania because he's never been that. I don't think he'll ever main event WrestleMania. Maybe that's how we should maybe gauge our potential for these superstars.
You know
Will
what
they?
though?
That's how I gauge my potential.
Will they ever main event a Mania?
Looking at it currently, but certain people, I can't see them main eventing a Mania right now. But again, I'm comparing it to like unfair, people
Let
that
me
have
ask you
done.
something though. Does main eventing WrestleMania still hold the same merit that WWE thinks it does?
Yes.
And I ask this because Lawrence Taylor and Bam Bam Bigelow headlined WrestleMania.
Yeah, but they haven't done it since. So is it even still fair to say that? Is it even still fair to bring that up?
Brock Lesnar and Goldberg headlined WrestleMania in an age where they were not in their prime.
But Drew, you have to remember, they put this motherfucker Goldberg over to be at Mania because it's a bigger draw than Bray Wyatt, even though he's a far worse competitor.
Yeah, but at the same time, I
what?
I personally, I don't hold it to the same merit just because, and this is going to come off as sexist, so I don't want people to take it like that. But I feel like that triple threat was just gifted to them so that WWE can say, "Hey, we're woke. We have this as a main event at WrestleMania." Ronda was greener than goose shit. Should not have been main event at WrestleMania.
Absolutely agree.
So, I mean, I feel like they sometimes just, instead of putting the best person there or the best qualified, they put just somebody who they feel will, look good.
We know what WrestleMania is. It's spectacle. It's not really about wrestling. You get that. You get that on your undercard, but you know what draws people in, and they're always going to go with that until it stops. Until you prove that it stops working.
I think this is the first year in a long while that we've gotten a main event match that was about wrestling with Drew McIntyre. We even said he was going to main event a Mania. We saw it. We saw it coming. And I think certain guys you can see that coming. And I'm just going to take a long shot out of the dark here while we're on this topic. Dominic Mysterio will main event at WrestleMania. You heard it here first. He's the golden child.
So let me ask you this.
You realize Rey Mysterio didn't even main event WrestleMania, right?
Huh?
You realize Rey Mysterio didn't even main event WrestleMania, right?
Yeah, he did.
No,
he
he
main
didn't.
evented 22.
With Cena?
No, the triple threat with Kurt Angle and Randy Orton.
Oh, yeah, was that the last match, Drew?
It was.
No, it wasn't. We had this discussion before. Would you please look it up?
Looking it up right now. All right. Well, moving on.
Exactly.
Okay, let me ask you this. Because you say that, main event at WrestleMania holds so much merit. Is Eddie Guerrero listed as an all-time great?
Yes.
Yeah.
Never headlined a WrestleMania.
I'm not saying that because you don't headline that you're not an all-time great, though. Whose argument is that?
Well, I mean, let's face it. As far as the merit goes, I mean, if we're judging by merit, that means the Big Show is, higher up there than guys like Eddie Guerrero, guys like Scott Hall, guys like I don't even know Randy Orton headline.
The Big Show was in what, a Fatal 4-Way? I'm not counting that.
I think he main evented more than that.
In WrestleMania?
Yeah.
I don't think we ever saw him in the main event again.
I thought he main evented with Cena and Edge, possibly.
See, you keep saying main event, but
well, mind you, this is a period where I wasn't really watching, so that could honestly just be my mistake.
I want to say Triple H fought Batista that year or something like that. Whatever, Cena was burying two people in one match.
You could be right. Yeah, you're right. That was Triple H and Randy Orton.
Wait, that was the same year?
That was the same year.
They gave you 2 trash man. Oh my God! Wait a minute. What else they have with that card? Some had to save it.
On that card, they had Undertaker and Shawn Michaels saved it.
Oh, okay. That's what saved it. All right. 25 and 26. Yeah, they had some doozies on there, boy.
Yeah, that's a fact.
That was like the one few times that they made Cena take a back seat. Other than that, it was always Cena main eventing. And at those other times. But yeah, Rey Mysterio, he never got it.
Huh.
Nor should he have. Moving on. Iconics took on Liv Morgan and Natalya. Iconics got the victory very quickly. Moving on, Austin Cruz, Apollo Cruz.
Wait a minute, he's next up though.
Who, Apollo?
No, Austin Cruz, he's coming up. He's the next to debut.
I don't know why I said that name. Apollo Cruz took on Shelton Benjamin. Shelton Benjamin is to the WWE what Diamond and Silk are to Donald Trump. Shelton, he's just there for a good laugh. He's not really there for anything meaningful anymore. You just put him on there because, hey, look what I got, and no one gives a fuck. I mean, Shelton Benjamin, you're losing against Apollo Crews.
No, Shelton Benjamin is literally an extra in a movie right now.
Pretty much.
He doesn't even get the occasional R-Truth shine.
No, you know who Shelton Benjamin is? Shelton Benjamin is the guy from Allstate. Like, you'll see him in a movie, like, yo, he was in that? Damn, I remember him. I see him all the time, but he doesn't really do shit.
Shelton Benjamin is Jake from State Farm. It's like, did we replace him? Maybe. I mean, he'll show back up, but, you know, he might be replaced.
Or like the Sprint guy.
Who was also the Rising guy?
Yeah, right. That's Shelton Benjamin. All right, so Drew McIntyre and R-Truth took on MVP of Bobby Lashley. Who's booking this shit? Because
Richard now, right?
I mean,
yeah,
you know, R-Truth in one of the main events, whatever. MVP got pinned by McIntyre, and they won the match. Any thoughts?
Nope.
All right, moving on. Asuka took on Nia Jax.
Oh gosh.
again.
Backlash rematch. Nia Jax is talking some shit against Asuka. Asuka ended up rolling her up for the 1, 2, 3.
So the thing that I'm thinking about here is maybe they put a cap on this feud by doing that, and they're not going to go till SummerSlam or the next pay-per-view.
Maybe so. Maybe they're punishing Nia. Because who else are going to put, you know, they didn't have a replacement for her in Backlash. With Dave Brooke. I mean, I don't know.
They haven't even built no other woman up on there.
I was about to say, yo, they need Ronda Rousey like a motherfucker. Because they don't have anybody.
You know it's about to be Charlotte. And there was a rumor going around talking about Charlotte was going to challenge for the WWE Championship. I was like, oh my God.
I hope it ain't true. Main event, Randy Orton versus Christian. Swerve, take us out with this one, man.
Well, like I said earlier, you know what kind of stardom you are when they debut you on Raw. If you had a long return. Christian played the role of Marty Jannetty, as so many other lesser tag teams have done when the popular superstar is out. You alluded to it earlier about them. I think he challenged them earlier. I didn't see this, but I know they had a match between, Christian and Randy Orton. So, did he get the punt this time again, or did he just beat him with RKO?
I believe he punted him. Yeah.
And I want to say this didn't even go very long. took him out rather quickly.
Yeah, he basically just did away with him. I don't know if this is going to lead to something between Randy Orton and Christian in the meantime, so that they can keep the feud going while Edge, tries to get sewed back together.
That was my thought because this wasn't like a real match. But either way, why would Christian agree to this? I don't know.
Storyline, dog. Gotta carry it.
Yeah, but by this time, you know your end goal is hurt. So, do we still do it?
Christian's got bills to pay too.
And then it was so cheap. It was, hey, Christian, I know you're not technically cleared, but let's have an unsanctioned match. I was like, is this what we're doing? I'd rather just Christians talk shit on the Edge and Christian show on the network about Randy Orton. I just don't know if we're going to see Beth Phoenix again. Or if he truly does have torn triceps, how are they going to carry this? Because, wait, are you going to write Orton off of TV also? This is your main event at SummerSlam.
Orton can continue his, legend killer. I'm saying that in air quotes until they come back. But what I don't want to see is him beating legends that he's already done this to. Like, I don't want to see Mick Foley get punted. I don't want to see Ric Flair get punted. Like, better find somebody else to punt until that time comes on.
Yeah.
I don't want them getting Terry Funk on the phone or whatever.
My horse is sick. Terry Funk provided one of my favorite moments ever in pro wrestling. It came on Shotgun Saturday Night, back when that was a thing. And I guess backstage, they're like, hey, Terry, we know that you like to sometimes say outlandish things. Just remember, we're on, syndicated TV, so try not to say too many weird things. We're trying to be family friendly. Okay. So he's wrestling Bret Hart and grabs a microphone and goes, Bret Hart, your mother is a whore. And you could just feel everyone backstage just going, what the fuck, Terry?
Yeah. He dragged that one out real good. Incredible. I forgot what I was going to say. I don't know, but SummerSlam's a couple months away. They better get the fuck ready.
Yeah, we don't even know the state of it. Like, if it's going to be a bunch of fans, it's going to be some fans. I mean, I just got a notification from our movie theater here that they're going to be opening back up in July. So stuff is starting to come back around, but
thank God.
But Florida, I hear, closed their restaurants 1 week after opening shit up.
Oh gosh.
Well, they said there was a spike, but it looks like the spike's not as high as they were scared of. So that's still a decent sign.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, you had to expect that there was going to be a spike because you're going to be doing more testing.
You know what? Speaking of spikes, since this thing happened, I haven't given out no DAP until today. I gave somebody DAP today by accident. Didn't even think about it.
I was in the store and I saw my boy and I gave him an arm dap. Forearm dap. The dap is dead, man.
I mean, like, I gave the inside palm reach around. I gave all of it. I was like, damn, you caught me off guard with that.
Got you, dog.
I made it through the whole, like, at the going to the dealership and all that, where you gotta almost shake their hand. They didn't do it there. I made it out of that. Then I got caught off guard coming back home. Saw somebody I knew, and we always talk, for a minute. And there he is. I was like, damn, got me.
That's only because outside told you it was cool to do it again. I mean, that's all. That is it for Raw. We have a last little bit of house cleaning to do with our quote unquote correspondents, Abby and Uwab Jeff.
Oh, we got Uwab Jeff as well.
Yep, we got both. So Avi was actually from last week.
They forgot
So let me pull.
Nowadays, everybody want to talk that they got something to say when it comes out, when they move with the lips. There's a bunch of gibberish and motherfuckers act, but they forgot about Abby.
Yeah, I fucked up. I'm sorry, Avi. I saw it in the email today. I'm like, fuck, he's gonna be pissed.
Here's some dirt sheets because about Drew. Abby, I'm doing it. Drew, Abby wanted me to clearly piss you off on purpose with how you can hear me speak. Because every time he said, you would go, who the fuck is making that goddamn noise? He said it was amazing. He said, can you do that on purpose? I said, I'll try. But apparently it didn't work today.
This fucking guy. You know what, Abby, if that's the case, I'm glad I didn't read your fucking email last week.
Sorry, Abby.
But let's pull this up right now. So, sorry, I'm just pulling it up right now. And I got, boys, with the announcement that the Rochester AEW show has been moved to November, and New Japan announced that they are reopening, I've developed a chub of excitement. In light of the positive news, what matches or storylines were you excited about that were canceled or postponed by the Rona? I wish the following had occurred. The Fiend versus Roman, or at least not dropping the title to Goldberg. Tetsuya Naito versus Kenta for both New Japan titles. Orange Cassidy versus Minoru Suzuki at Joey Janela's Spring Break. Uwab Jeff versus Abby in a No Pyro Studios parking lot Texas death match. That last one, definitely on my top 5.
Yes. That shit needs a Dark Side of the Ring.
And it's going on. It's going on the YouTube channel.
Yes, it's going on. Abby and Uwab Jeff, like, subscribe, comment, share. The match is coming. Just look for it.
So, in all seriousness, I was personally upset that we didn't get the Blood and Guts match from AEW. That was like the match I was really looking forward to. I'm also upset that the shit that they did with Brody Lee and Matt Hardy was actually supposed to be at the show that we were going to and got canceled because of the Rona. So fuck China and fuck China again.
Well, AEW coming to Buffalo for the first time. I wonder if they'll realize what type of impact that wrestling has on this city. And if they'll, give Buffalo a good show again. Or at least plan to.
Well, it's not Buffalo, it's Rochester, remember.
Rochester, Western New York. That's not Western New York either. That area of New York.
Upstate.
But downstate. Yeah. So, for me, Bray against Roman. I mean, they've had some decent matches in the past. I've been I'm a WWE guy, so, there's that trans that I'm under. That would have been my match.
He's blinded by the lights.
You know what I mean? Holy shit! I didn't know Elias joined the podcast. 2 songs, bro.
Hello, my name is Swervy.
I don't know if I can really answer this question. I mean, I'm not really disappointed with the way things turned out.
Wow, you not disappointed about something?
I mean, do anybody miss Roman?
Well, I did hear his name mentioned in an interview the other day.
Talk about you guys.
No.
I
See?
mean,
See?
but
Did he
I
sit
guess
down?
Chris Jericho mentioned that he would be very interested in bringing him in AEW.
Oh my God.
Wait, who?
Jericho said that about Roman.
Can you imagine the boos?
They would actually make him a heel, which I'm excited about.
Honestly, that's a needle mover. Because you're going to watch.
He'd be allowed to cuss too.
I don't care about them punk ass bitches over there in Connecticut.
Roman Reigns is dead. This is Joe and Hawaii.
Yeah,
What do we
he'd
got from?
move a bigger needle than Tyson taking off his shirt. That's for sure.
Yeah. Or at least trying to. What do we got from Jeff?
All right, let me pull up his email. His email is slightly longer.
Pause.
I mean, it's Jeff and Abby, so I mean, they might actually be talking about that shit. Okay, so his email, and he writes, first off, congrats to my favorite three jabrones on 100 episodes. I figured I had to put it in somewhere for that special occasion. I've got a few questions at the end, but first I want to talk about everyone's favorite toy belt, the TNT Championship. So discussions about the belt so far with you guys have been mediocre responses at best. Wow, this fucker. But one thing I think that has been mixed up is the idea that it is a mid-card belt. I personally enjoy the idea of not having weight divisions because I don't want the title to only be held by gigantic men. It feels too close to what Vinnie Mac would want, and we are obviously trying to stay away from this. So it's definitely not a midweight belt or a cruiserweight belt. What really set it in place was seeing the AW Power Rankings. Next to Moxley, they show Cody with his championship on the top 5 singles competitors. At that moment, I realized that they aren't trying to push it as a mid card belt, but instead they're pushing it as a second championship entirely. Kind of like the World Heavyweight was to the WWE Championship, or vice versa when Cena had the world title. Now, with that idea in mind, I started seeing things a little differently. Originally, I didn't think Cody should have won the Hasbro title. It made more sense to give it to Lance Archer and put him over as a monster. But now, a few weeks in, I see why they gave it to him. Cody is pretty decent at getting people over, even if he defeats them, I feel. Cue him issuing an open challenge and defending it every Dynamite to not only bring immediate prestige to the championship, but make you feel like there is some weight to it. I don't believe Lance Archer could have done the same, and Cody is following the path of John Cena's U.S. Championship reign. While he mentioned a lot of things that you guys mentioned earlier, this allows some people to step forward and showcase some good singles matches, like Mark Quinn, but a pretty good singles match. I think this is going to end up pretty solid in the long run. God damn, he wrote a lot. Now, there are some things I'd like to change. No matter what I say, the belt will not get any less ugly. They need to swap it out immediately, and Cody needs to stop showing off so much. He bled for no damn reason against Jungle Boy, playing it off like he ran into a cement wall. Save that shit for when it matters. Also, this title defense does not have to be the main event every Wednesday. I think maybe they should attach an open challenge rule to the belt and let him lose it, maybe saying TNT champions have to defend at least 2 or 3 weeks. Just some ideas from your friendly Up Jeff. Now that that's out of the way, I have 2 questions for the esteemed hosts. Number 1, since the best wrestling match of all time was definitely not as billed, I'm curious if you guys can share what each of you actually believe to be the best wrestling match you have ever seen. Did you want to answer that one first, and then I go to number 2?
Best wrestling match I've ever seen. We don't have to spend a lot of time here, but
There's like 1A, 1B, 1C. I mean, I don't really know if I can pick one of them.
yeah.
I would say, personally, my pick would be Austin and Brett at WrestleMania 13. That's just me.
I'm going. I'm going Taker and Michaels at the first Mania.
I'm gonna give you 3. Austin and Rock, WrestleMania 17. Shawn Michaels and Taker is in there. And I'm gonna say Kurt Angle and Benoit at Royal Rumble. And I think it's 2001. And you can put them in any order.
Hmm.
I have more than that, but those are just the 3 that come to mind right now.
Yeah, I could feel that. I like that. Second question. You suddenly are all powerful in the wrestling world. Well, that doesn't change for me. You can move one person from from WWE to AEW. They keep their names and gimmick. Who is it? And how about vice versa? You take one person from AEW and throw them on main roster WWE. Ignore the fact if they've been there before. Who do you pick of these situations? Personally, I think Ricochet would be great in AEW, and Nyla Rose can take her clumsy ass to fight against the Queen Reaper herself, Nia Jax. Congrats, guys.
So you're trying to kill one industry.
Damn.
So swap one wrestler out for another.
I will swap out Matt Hardy for Roman Reigns. Because I don't care what Jeff Hardy does on his own. Because Jeff Hardy's better when it's a tag. Because he's in a bubble. He's in a tag team division, which no one gives a fuck about. So that's where he'll go. And you know what? I would wholeheartedly want to see Roman Reigns on AEW. But fans would have to be there. And I'm expecting almost Hulk Hogan to WCW NWO vibes with that. Because he's that big of a superstar.
Does the person have to be active in WWE right now in order for that to work, Drew?
No. Well,
I still want Rusev over there at AEW.
yeah, I don't. He didn't say he had to be active.
I want Rusev in AEW, and give me give me Orange.
Whoa, Orange Cassidy. I would say Mustafa Ali to AEW. And I would say Brian Cage to WWE.
Okay, that's a little mid card.
Just because of the fact that, I mean, he's a huge guy, big size. Vince would fucking love him. He would fit in real well. Yeah, but EC3 was not as jacked.
Oh, I mean, you're right, but still. Like, he only took half of the juice. Brian Cage took all of it.
Which is what Vince loves.
He just took the gallon jug and just drank it straight. Like, he didn't even use the needle.
Yeah, I don't know. Is that That's his last question, correct?
Yep.
All right.
I'd like to address all of the stuff he said before he got to the actual questions, but I forgot what most of it was. There was a lot to unpack there.
Yeah. Before we go, one question for you guys. Drew, I'm gonna ask you first. How much is too much? Well, no, I'm gonna phrase it differently. $600.
This is unrelated.
What?
Are you smashing or passing the new PS5?
Oh, $600 if it costs?
Yeah. Smash or pass?
When? Like, as far as when?
What
This
the
is
hell is
Day one
Smash?
purchase.
Not day one. Tax. When I get that tax check, yes.
No, I'm just saying, hypothetically speaking, are you if it was $600, are you smashing or passing? Because I know you watched the Sony.
Yeah, no, I would get it. I would get it, and I plan on getting it. Not day one, though. I would get it for tax season.
Okay. All right. Swervy, smash or pass 600 PS5.
There's not many things I would buy for $600. So unless they make the trade-in value for the PS4 Pro really good, I'm not getting it until they do so.
All right.
But that is looking like the first system I'm going to get now, for right now.
I heard Xbox said they got some heat coming.
Yeah,
Bye.
that's what you're supposed to say, though.
Drew, is there anything that Xbox can do to sway your decision? Make it free?
I mean, I had the Xbox 360, and it was good, but it wasn't great. I got the Red Ring of Death, wasn't thrilled. I don't know. I've always had better experiences with PlayStation, but you do notice neither company's displaying their prices. You know why, right?
Tell us.
Because last year E3, or not last year, but last generation E3, when Xbox displayed their price of, I think it was like $500. Very next day, PlayStation displayed theirs for $400. And neither company has forgotten that fact. You know that. So you know both companies are like, no, go on. Xbox just in there like, no, go on. Tell us how much it's going to be. 600, huh? We could ship this motherfucker out for $5.
Yeah, see, Mac, everybody knows that Sony is petty, and they're waiting for Microsoft to go first so they can just undercut them.
And Microsoft is waiting.
Go ahead and do it.
And Microsoft is waiting for Sony to do it so they can get that clap back. Took 6 years, but they'll get it.
$299 Xbox. That's
their flagship console can't be lower than Sony just based off the specs. So they're gonna have to probably take a hit somewhere.
What would you rather have? 10 purchases for $10 or one purchase for $100? Come on now. They can get more if they sell it for less.
Here's the thing, like for me,
they're gonna make it back in services. But
the exclusives for PlayStation are just too great for me.
Drew is right. That's a strong point they got right now. They still have that strong point going for them.
Xbox has kind of marketed itself as like the all-around system. So because of that, they've kind of sacrificed the gaming aspect. I don't need a $600-$700 system that's going to play me fucking cable TV or Hulu. I have that. I don't need it.
But Drew, they're not still doing that. That was 2013.
I'm just saying, like, I don't need that. I need a gaming system. You know, if you're not going to be focusing on gaming, I don't know.
If people still think like that, then Xbox is in trouble.
Hey, as long as they don't fucking come out with stupid ass cameras like what PlayStation doing.
Well, you mean like the Kinect?
That was years ago, bro.
Oh, okay, that was years ago.
PS5 is literally coming out with a camera that no one's gonna give a fuck about. But continue. Console wars begin, gentlemen. That's all I'm saying. Did you all have anything else for this evening?
I gotta take a piss for this evening, so let's end the show.
All right, heard it here. Swerve is the boss. Episode number Cien, or a buck, or a C note, or a ball. In other words, 100 is in the books. Join us next week where we will break down more Raw, SmackDown, AEW, and Dirt and all that in between. My name is Total Mac, aka TBD Mac, aka Sick Flair. With Swerve Lee, aka 2Sub Swerve, aka Swerve Atmos, aka Swole Pow, FKA Yoko Tuna. And of course, last but not least, No Chill Drew, aka EGB, aka the Applebee's Don, aka Hit us up on YouTube, like, subscribe, comment. We are on SoundCloud. We are on iTunes. Hit us on Twitter. Hit us on Facebook. We coming at you like a money shot, bitch.
Hit us on YouTube.
Huh?
I said, don't forget YouTube. We need your subscriptions.
YouTube. We on there. Now, all of them links is going to be coming at you like a money shot. And we out this bitch like a newborn. Y'all stay blessed. Deuces.